So let me show you that bag. Now, the size is exactly the same. It's the same bag, except it's anthracite. You can see here dark. The trim is a fur trim. It's real fur. This is from my mother's trimming collection, a very old piece. My sister sewed for me for this bag. My mother was a seamstress, so we all sewed and we grew up sewing. The handles are suede and faux leather handles. And I'll tell you about what's inside each of these bags, what type of divining tools. Now, the last representative gem is the leopard. This is the leopard jasper. Leopard jasper. Now, leopard jasper, leopard skin jasper. It's very, very interesting. It gives us healing properties when we wear it. This is a stone that's excellent in detoxing the body parts. It relieves stress, abdominal pain. It helps enormously in reducing pain in our bodies. It helps us renew our harmony with the environment. And it also has the ability to calm us and to stimulate your imagination, similar to the citrine. So the citrine for the imagination is a bit more powerful, perhaps. Most of the people consider this stone helpful for self-healing and self-belief, for returning to believing in yourself and having self-confidence. It alleviates insomnia and other types of sleeping disorders. It really aids in maintaining a healthy energy within our body and keeps us strong. What's interesting about this stone particularly is that it steps up our ability to communicate and keeps us in connection with our spirit and its ancestors. This stone has the ability to connect those people who wear it with the animal world as well. It's an activator, it's a cleanser, it's a stimulator for the heart chakra. It raises the energy vibration and emotional and astral levels to heal the astral body and emotional heart. It heals karmic emotional pain and pain from past life traumas. It also encourages us to listen, to speak and listen with our heart, and to realize an equality in relationships, making both parties and other parties on equal footing. It's a well-known spiritual healer, this is leopard jasper, and it works well with most of the chakras, and it's believed to be used at the navel, our belly buttons, to stimulate us at that point, at the sacral chakra. And it works as a centering stone. It brings you back and clears your air of negative thoughts and feelings. One thing that, an interesting thing that this leopard jasper can also help us with is with our journeying and out-of-body experience. It's a powerful protector and gives us strength and vitality, as I mentioned. It helps us reach success, all in all, reach success especially in our business and our working place where we work. As you can see, all of these stones have the ability to keep negativity away, and they all do it in different ways, however. Now, let me give you a look at the third bag. Now this bag, as you can see, it's the same size, and it is a pale rose-colored shell, and the trim is faux astrakhan. I made this. It was material from my mom that she had. May she rest in peace. And the handles are faux leather reptile-like design on it. Now, what exactly is in these bags? What exactly is in these bags? Well, let me talk about the cards that I have. First of all, I have the collection of picture postcards, fine art postcards in each bag. Then I have in each bag the Lemurian Star Child Oracle. And this time I've chosen the Sacred Rose Tarot. Now this is the very first tarot deck that I've ever held in my hands. So you can imagine how old it is, but don't let the box trick you, because this is a new box. It's because, of course, over the years you lose some cards, and so I'd like to have two decks to supplement each other. Then I also have the Kipper cards in each. This is by Ciro Marchetti, in each bag, and the Fairy Tale Lenormand cards in each bag. There will also be a necklace. There'll be a necklace. There will be two other gemstones as well. So let me show you these bags once again. Let me show you the bags. This is one, our first bag. The bag that contains the divining tools that we'll be looking at, and the decks of cards and gems, and the necklace with a gem, and the labradorite symbolizes it or represents it. Now the second bag we saw, and I'll put it in the middle, but I will slowly but surely show you these again. This is the anthracite bag with the leather trim, and it's represented by the citrine. Then we have the last is the rose-colored bag with the black trim and the leopard jasper representing it. From left to right, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Let's just take a moment to think of our choices. You may be interested in choosing number 1 because you're interested in the labradorite, you're drawn by the labradorite to that bag, or you may be pulled by the colors that you see, and the same goes for bag number 2 or bag number 3. So let's take a moment, do 3 deep breaths. Inhale to 5. Exhale to 5. Inhale to 5. exhale to 5. Inhale to 5. And exhale to 5. Now let's start with bag number 1. So let me show you that bag. Now, the size is exactly the same. It's the same bag, except it's anthracite. You can see here dark. The trim is a fur trim. It's real fur. This is from my mother's trimming collection, a very old piece. My sister sewed for me for this bag. My mother was a seamstress, so we all sewed, and we grew up sewing. The handles are suede and faux leather handles. And I'll tell you about what's inside each of these bags, what type of divining tools. Now, the last representative gem is the leopard. This is the leopard jasper. Leopard jasper. Now, leopard skin jasper, it's very, very interesting. It gives us healing properties when we wear it. This is a stone that's excellent in detoxing the body parts. It relieves stress, abdominal pain. It helps enormously in reducing pain in our bodies. It helps us renew our harmony with the environment. And it also has the ability to calm us and to stimulate your imagination, similar to the citrine. So the citrine for the imagination is a bit more powerful, perhaps. Most of the people consider this stone helpful for self-healing and self-belief, for returning to believing in yourself and having self-confidence. It alleviates insomnia and other types of sleeping disorders. It really aids in maintaining a healthy energy within our body and keeps us strong. What's interesting about this stone particularly is that it steps up our ability to communicate and keeps us in connection with our spirit and its ancestors. This stone has the ability to connect those people who wear it with the animal world as well. It's an activator, it's a cleanser, it's a stimulator for the heart chakra. It raises the energy vibration and emotional and astral levels to heal the astral body and emotional heart. It heals karmic emotional pain and pain from past life traumas. It also encourages us to listen, to speak and listen with our heart, and to realize an equality in relationships, making both parties and other parties on equal footing. It's a well-known spiritual healer, this is leopard jasper, and it works well with most of the chakras, and it's believed to be used at the navel, our belly buttons, to stimulate us at that point, at the sacral chakra. And it works as a centering stone. It brings you back and clears your air of negative thoughts and feelings. One thing that, an interesting thing that this leopard jasper can also help us with is with our journeying and out-of-body experience. It's a powerful protector and gives us strength and vitality, as I mentioned. It helps us reach success, all in all, reach success, especially in our business and our working where we work. As you can see, all of these stones have the ability to keep negativity away, and they all do it in different ways, however. Now, let me give you a look at the third bag. Now, this bag, as you can see, it's the same size, and it is a pale rose-colored shell, and the trim is faux astrakhan. I made this. It was material from my mom that she had. May she rest in peace. And the handles are faux leather reptile-like design on it. Now, what exactly is in these bags? What exactly is in these bags? Well, let me talk about the cards that I have. First of all, I have the collection of picture postcards, fine art postcards in each bag. Then I have in each bag the Lemurian Star Child Oracle. And this time I've chosen the Sacred Rose Tarot. Now this is the very first tarot deck that I've ever held in my hands. So you can imagine how old it is, but don't let the box trick you, because this is a new box. It's because, of course, over the years you lose some cards, and so I'd like to have two decks to supplement each other. Then I also have the Kipper cards in each. This is by Ciro Marchetti, in each bag, and the Fairy Tale Lenormand cards in each bag. There will also be a necklace. There'll be a necklace. There will be two other gemstones as well. So let me show you these bags once again. Let me show you the bags. This is one, our first bag. The bag that contains the divining tools that we'll be looking at, and the decks of cards and gems, and the necklace with a gem, and the labradorite symbolizes it or represents it. Now the second bag we saw, and I'll put it in the middle, but I will slowly but surely show you these again. This is the anthracite bag with the leather trim, and it's represented by the citrine. Then we have the last is the rose-colored bag with the black trim and the leopard jasper representing it. From left to right, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Let's just take a moment to think of our choices. You may be interested in choosing number 1 because you're interested in the labradorite, you're drawn by the labradorite to that bag, or you may be pulled by the colors that you see. And the same goes for bag number 2 or bag number 3. So let's take a moment. Do 3 deep breaths. Inhale to 5. Exhale to 5. Inhale to 5. Exhale to 5. Inhale to 5. And exhale to 5. Now let's start with bag number 1. So we're back with the labradorite in the middle of the table and our bag here. So let's see. You've seen the bag on the outside. Let's take a look at what is included in the bag. First thing, we have a necklace that's chalcedony. We'll talk about that. That has gray, white chalcedony. Then we have our fine arts painting postcards, the tarot, Sacred Rose Tarot, Sacred Rose. We have our oracle cards, Star Child. And we have the Kipper cards, our fairy tale Lenormand. Let's see what else is there. We have a quartz. We've got a quartz and an apophyllite. Now, last but not least, we have here a bag of runes which are black onyx. Let's start with the chalcedony. The chalcedony is, as I said, usually blue-gray, and it's associated generally with nurturing, giving care to those who use it. It takes care of you, literally. It's a speaker stone. It's called the speaker stone. It encourages us to reflect and make careful decisions. And this stone at one time was thought to have magical powers, especially when the energy is focused. Keeping this around your neck will make you create wonders, truly. Then we have this quartz. Now, this is special. It's called aura quartz. Aura quartz, it's an elegant stone. And I remember when I picked this up, I was with one of my best friends in the United States. We went to a Pennsylvania quarry. And when I picked this up, my friend said, "Oh my God, it looks like a wedding dress. And she was right. It aids consciousness, the expansion of consciousness. And it's an incredible cleansing stone. It has incredible cleansing properties. It's this specific aura quartz is called champagne because you can see the color of it. It helps users to ground themselves psychologically and spiritually. So let's put that down over to the side. And the last stone I wanted to show you in this first group is apophyllite. It's a high vibration stone, a high vibration of light. It soothes anxiety, really, and fear. It cleanses your mind and your body, and it gives us the courage to be ourselves. This is the best property of this stone, actually. Brings us to higher realms as well. Now, the runes that we have here, as I showed you, I think already, are black onyx, and black onyx favors willpower, our willpower and discipline, and helps us focus our attention. So together with this chalcedony, we really could make magic. I'll put this over to the side and now take the cards. I'm going to start with the Star Child Oracle and put a focus on that. Let's see. Star Child Oracle. It's the card of inner child attunement. Let's read what it says. Inner child attunement. Go within, listen, and try to create loving parenting, a form of loving parenting. This also is the taking care stone, taking care of ourselves. There's a theme that is starting to emerge, group number one, bag number one, group number one. I'm going to take 2 picture postcards here. After I cut them, I'll take one from the top and one from the bottom. Okay, this is, I think you could see that. This is Accolade. It's by Edmund Leighton. It's the dubbing. It's a rite of passage. The knight is being dubbed. This is a ceremony conferring knighthood. And the other is a painting I'm sure all of you have seen before. It's an American Gothic painting by Grant Wood. It's called American Gothic. It's a sort of satire. It's a poke at the Gothic trend in America, and it was during the period of the Depression, actually, when this was painted. The Gothic period in the United States that tried to mirror the European Gothic. Now, I'm going to look at, this is, let me be quiet before we do anything. And I have the Sacred Rose Tarot. Sacred Rose Tarot. Am I doing the right thing, group number one? Am I doing the right thing? Okay, look at this. We've got the 6 of Wands. Right there, I would want to shout, yes, yes, yes. The Ace of Wands. The Ace of Cups. The Tower. And the Hierophant. Really interesting, group number one. I have to say that when we get a major arcana, I need to focus on the magic of the reading. So I will do that as soon as I open the other Kipper cards. We'll just use a little magical invocation here with that Hierophant for this group. Put this over the tower here. And okay, so we have, very interesting, we've got over the tower. Listen to this, group number one. We've got the main male, card number one. We've got the journey. And we have the privileged lady. And this is over our Tower card. Now we've got two major arcana, both the Tower and the Hierophant. I'll be back with the magic on those two cards. Let me take the Lenormand. And I'm going to take some cards on the American Gothic and on the dubbing. What do we have here on the American Gothic? We have the Rider. Now there's a lot of movement we have here. The Journey, the Rider. And we've got the Bouquet. And the Stork. Well, somebody's bringing home a bundle of joy. And over the Dubber, I have the Moon card, the Whip, and the Gentleman. As I said, for the major arcana, I will like to work with magical, alchemic invocations, if we may. So with the Hierophant, hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Harness the power of this holy card so that we may gain spiritual and sacred knowledge. So mote it be. Hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Harness us the power of this holy card so that we may gain spiritual and sacred knowledge. So mote it be. Now also for the Tower. Hear me, O great guardians of the Tower, of the tarot. Harness us the power of the holy card so that we may find stability and remove the burdens of our ego. Hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Harness us the power of this holy card so that we may be free of our destructive ego. Now, let's go back. And what am I looking at? Group number one. I'm looking at us having the opportunity here. First of all, there's a female energy, there's a male energy here. And that's very clear. We've got this in the dubbing painting, and we also have this right over the dubbing painting with the Moon and the Gentleman. The Moon is a symbol of love, but not only. We've got the fair lady, the privileged lady, and the main male. But it's over the tarot. They're one of the two parties who have destroyed a balance in that relationship. Now, it never is able to come to a situation of standstill or too stable or being stuck. I don't see any energy that brings us to a position of being stuck. Not at all. What I'm seeing here is a lot of movement. Why? Because it seems that the movement is being enacted in order that you might work against that static nature. How do you do that? Through the inner child attunement. I'm not sure if all of you understand what the attunement is. The attunement is, that too is an invocation that asks for the grace, the divine grace in allowing our inner child to see so that we might go within, listen, and be loving parents to our inner child. Those of us who have gone through healing, this is one of the steps. We need to learn how to take care of our inner child. I see shouted success here, ladies and gentlemen. I see sacred energy, spiritual energy, an energy which reeks of initiation, success, love, and passion. There is one of the parties that you are involved with, either you or the other party that you're involved with, in a very strong relationship, a very strong bond that is giving you a run for your money. Why do I say that? I say that because there is a journey here, and this is a soul's journey as well. And one of the two parties here I see will be very needy of healing, extremely needy of healing. Another focus is this Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups. I'm going to take a few Kipper cards on those. Take from the bottom of the deck. Okay. I've got here the official person. The official person, this could be a lawyer, this could be a professional, a doctor, a scientist. Then we have the bad mother. The bad health. I'm looking at the woman and made me think of the witch mother, the negative mother, but it is bad health. And the mature man. Again, we have persona here. We have several men in the picture, but it is a mature energy here, and there is the main energy here. Again, we have the gentleman. It's as if there are a number of characters. Now, let me show you. There is 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, when I looked at this Ace of Cups, I have here bad health, ill health between an official person and the mature male. Now, someone in your close circle of, in your tribe, I can say in your family, in your immediate family, or in your extended family, may be having remorse, over what decisions, negative decisions they have encountered. They may be having legal issues involved with that. And this card 31 does talk of remorse to me, especially in hindsight. Remorse in a romantic manner. Remorse in a romantic manner, in a romantic meaning. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like to me, I also do want to take some Lenormand cards here on this Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. I've got here the stars, the lilies, and the fox. Now, it's quite interesting because the lilies talk of maturity, just like this mature man. But you recall that we were focusing on our inner child and caring for our inner child, and all about protecting ourselves and our inner child. But at the same time, there is talk of guidance in our mature life. Mature life could be any age, really. When we reflect, when we start to reflect, that is when we can talk of maturity. It's sort of a meta communication that we entertain with ourselves, truly. Now, what is that fox there? This fox is really, really winking at this tower. The tower that has literally thrown off. I would say, there's a joke in Italian. Who would you throw down the tower? Who's the worst person in your life that you would throw down? Well, I've got these two people here. And since there is only one female and I see a number of rotating males, I have to say, as a gentleman, there's the main male, there's the mature male, and it looks like the reading here for group number 1 is telling us you are in a focus. You are focusing in the center of a family, of a tribe, of a group that you are caring for. and those around you seem to not reflect the caring back to you. This is a big main message that is emerging in this reading. One of the most important elements, and we've done our magic on that crushed ego, not to let the ego overcome you, and to speak in a sacred place, is that in a time of such great need, there is still the necessity for us, ladies and gentlemen, to take care of our inner child. Now let's meditate on this Chalcedony and remember that wearing a Chalcedony is a group of stones. It's like the quartz. There's so many quartz. It's like jasper. There's so many jasper. And Chalcedony, there are so many. And the Chalcedony in this shape and form does help you protect your inner child. I do hope this was of help, ladies and gentlemen, for the first group. One more thing I'd like to say is this champagne aura quartz. The champagne aura quartz is suggesting to us that we need to refine the way we interact with people and refine and give thanks to what we have and where we are in our life, but not only to refine the way we interact in the sense that slowly but surely the negativity can move and you work from a position of divine grace. Ladies and gentlemen, do write under the video and let me know if this resonates, which group you chose, and let me know. Just let me know something about yourself, where you're writing from. Bye-bye, group number 1. Group number 1, I almost forgot about our onyx runes, and I'm going to add to that, cast them in the box and lay them on the table. So let me turn these over as they have come. Okay, now look at this. First of all, I did mention that someone is going to have a newcomer in the family. There was the stork and there was a return to the home. I'm seeing it here in the rune of Bjork, Berkana. And this is talking to those of you who are expecting or are expecting to get news. You'll be getting news this week. What is this rune all about? Berkana, it's a rune of fertility, of birth, indeed, of the family, of new beginnings, of a new romance or a new project. Now, off to the side here we have Fehu that you can see is Merkstave. Sorry, this is Anzus Merkstave. It talks about advice and wisdom. I have to see what it's close by to, and what I'm seeing it's close by to. I'll tell you in a second. But Anzus in this position usually talks about your communication and divine communication. Now, you'll recall group number 1, the question was, am I doing the right thing? Let's guide ourselves with that question and find out. One rune close by is Bjork Berkana. Am I doing the right thing? Yes, this is the beginning of something new. If you are starting something new, you are doing the right thing. we have here AWATS. AWATS is a powerful ally. It's protection. You are doing, it's as if the universe has your back. You don't have to worry. You are in the right place, doing the right thing. Not only, we have here Algits. Algits is the yew tree. It's fortunate. This is a fortunate new influence in your life. A fortunate new influence, there'll be friendship, and both of these together are highly protective rooms. It's as if group number 1, you can't go wrong this week. We do have 30 sats here and 30 sats. Every time it comes out, I say, oh, damn. But it is in this position protection, and it's bringing luck, especially when it's paired with AWAS, especially paired with AWAS. So it looks like there's a lot of protection here. But my favorite rune here is Wunyo. Look at that. Wunyo. Wunyo is joy and happiness. It's a positive outcome. We saw in the reading the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands speaks of success. You are riding high, group number 1. We have here also Hegal, Hagalas, and it talks of delays. It talks about forces that are out of our control, and the time is not ripe for certain things. Let's look at what kind of things and what those things are. Are Gifu, gifts, partnerships. If you're considering a partnership with someone, this is not. This is the only area that the answer to, am I doing the right thing? No, not yet, Gifu tells you. There's an important, but it does talk about an important development in romantic relations, in romantic relationships, but not yet. There is a delay. Poor rune. There is a delay with that. Gifu, together with Hagalas, talks about a wait on an important relationship coming. Namaste, group number 1. Let's get on to group number 2. Write to me below the video. Here we go, group number 2. Group number 2. This is our citrine stone that we talked so much about. Let's take a look at what's inside now. We've got a chakra necklace, and I'll tell you what's on those. I'll tell you right now. Look, there's rose quartz that talks of love, that speaks to love. There is the amber stone that's a natural purifier. There's also the lapis lazuli stone here that is talks to healing. Jasper as well talks to healing. There's smoky quartz here. That's transmutation of negative energy. And what else? I think there's aventurine here, which is representative of vitality and growth. Let's see what else we have here. We've got the garnet. Wonderful. We've got a garnet stone that favors prosperity and good health. Keep those on either side. There's one more stone. There it is. One more stone. There it is. And this is malachite azurite. It enhances intuition, so it's quite useful to aid us in getting rid of blocks and restrictions, and replacing it with feelings of compassion and love. This is the malachite azurite. Now let's take a look at, wait a minute, there is also, I see here, there is the runes. There are the runes here. These are the antler bone runes, which represent the life-giving power of the sun, actually. And I'll put these in this box over here in the little basket and pull out the rest of the cards. Let's see what we have here. We've got our picture postcards. We have the Sacred Rose Tarot, our Star Child Oracle, the Kipper cards, and the Lenormand. Let's start with the Star Child Oracle. What's in store for group number 2 this week? What's in store for group number 2? Take one from the top. There you are. Nurture, the card of nurture. It tells us this is all about self-healing. It's the birthing of the new earth. And our question was, am I doing the right thing? This theme, similar, something similar, not quite this. The other group talked about self-care. This is nurturing others. Now I'm going to take the picture postcards and put one on each side of that. One from the top and one from the bottom, one from the top and one from the bottom. Okay, so the first card that has come out is the Tourlereads. This is Tourlereads aspens, and it is in a forest. And the interesting part of this painting is you're not able to see which is up and which is down. It looks like stripes. And here instead we've got the Starry Night. This is an impressionist painting, the Starry Night Mississippi Queen. That's parked right there, a barge. Now let's take our tarot. There's this one. There you go. Okay, we've got the Nine of Cups. How wonderful. We've got the Death card. It seems that our wish comes at a price. And we'll invoke magic for that Death card. The Ten of Cups. The Ace of Coins. And the Temperance card. 2 major arcana. We'll invoke our magic for that with this magical pick a card reading. Now let me take the Kipper cards. The Kipper cards are going to highlight the Tourlereads, aspens, and the Mississippi. Let's see the aspens cards. We've got, the way they've come out, a message of concern. Message of concern. Judication. And a mature woman. We'll look at that. And on the Mississippi barge, we've got the card of occupation, unexpected income, and distant horizons. Look, let me take the Lenormand first, just a moment. Before I do the Lenormand, let me work with invoking the magic for both the card of death and the card of temperance. Now, remember that the death card has many meanings, but it does talk about a cycle that is ending and one that is beginning. So, hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Harness us the power of this holy card so that we might let go of the past. Hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Harness us the power of this holy card so that we may let go of the past. That is for the death. Now, the temperance card. Hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Harness us the power of this holy card so that we may resolve our inner conflicts. So that we may resolve our inner conflicts. Hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Harness the power of this holy card so that we may harness our inner strength to unburden and resolve our inner conflicts. Look, we have a moment of grace here. Why? We're offered the opportunity in answer to the question, am I doing the right thing? I left the Lenormand from the fantasy cards. It's the Lenormand, particular Norman from the fables. There are two men, two women, a little different than the regular Lenormand cards. And for the temperance, and I'll show you those. For the death card, I have the bear, the dog, and the heart. I'm going to start right with these last and work my way backwards. Over the temperance, I have the tree, the lady, and the crossroads. Okay, what's in store for us? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing, group number 2? First of all, we are all offered the opportunity here to completely close a pain that has been haunting us. Close the door on the pain from the past. And why do I say that? Because we tend to want to hold on to that, with this dog seeking a sense of survival, something that has worked for us in the past, would protect us for the future, and it had to do with matters of the heart. Definitely has to do with matters of the heart. But what is interesting, group number 2 here, is that on either side of that card that tells us to release, we've asked to be able to release the past, is the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, a progression. You are destined to an Ace of Pentacles. This is an extremely powerful, successful card that's coming your way in the form of matters of the heart. There's also, this reading comes at a time when you may have to close a door. Am I doing the right thing? Well, if you're not, we have given you another push in that right direction by invoking the magic of the death card. We have here the temperance card, but the temperance card tells us, it stands to tell us, group number 2, that we are up against a moment of decision making. Okay, we get that because there is this closing door here, but it has to do with our very nature, what it means for us to be alive. It has to do with those who have come before us and those who are going after, who will be coming after us. It has to do precisely with our life and the quality of our life, the quality of our health. And the Temperance card talks of time. It tells us this is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. If you take that decision, to start a new leaf on, turn a new leaf on life, this is where the energy of the Divine Feminine will help you in bolstering the strength that is needed in order for you to go forward with that. I have to say that the notion of nurturing is an extremely important one for nature. In nature, it's the birthing of the new earth, as the card tells us, but it also reflects self-healing. Is it enough to just close a door? What brings on the healing process is always a spiritual path, is always a spiritual energy that we enact by starting self-healing. Now, on either side of this nurturing card are two very radically different energies. On the one hand, we have the stillness of the forest, where often we say, I cannot see the forest for the trees. Here we see but trees, and we don't see a forest. What's involved here? There's concern. There is a message of concern here because there is something out of sight, out of our sight. Now, of course, there is judication, and judication does bring in legal matters. There may be those of you in group number 2 that are awaiting a ruling, and that is a matter of concern. And I have here a mature energy in the form of a woman. And it may be destined or it may be attuned to a woman, but I'm seeing it more in terms of the maturity of the Divine Feminine, the maturity of the feminine energy in all of us that has to do with matters of concern. It almost is as if you, collective you of this group, seem to be waiting for a ruling, or seem to be waiting for a divorce, or seem to be waiting for some kind of separation so you can then start your life anew, as if that ruling will bring in that closed door that we saw here before. But unfortunately, the universe's energy works quite differently from the quartz energies and our legal system's energies, because can you cut off your arm, heal it, and say, there's not one day that I don't miss my arm? We've all heard stories of feeling the ghost of an old leg that was amputated and things like that. The same goes for energies that remain behind concerning someone in our life. No matter what, no matter how much animosity there may have been, closing a door is not just a matter of a legal ruling. Now, I do also remember that we talked about security here with the bear, and the sense of security as being at stake. And this is also the matter involved here in this message of concern. However, let's take a look at this Mississippi barge, because the Mississippi barge has a message all its own. It has a message concerning occupation. Occupation doesn't necessarily mean our activity or our livelihood or work in general. Occupation means what we create. It also means what we create. Now, I've got here unexpected income. Now, unexpected income seems to be deriving from a ruling, from a separation, from something that may be going your way. Remember that there is a door closing. Remember that we have discussed and augured in the magic of leaving the past in the past. Also, remember that this powerful card, the Nine of Cups, leading to the Ten of Cups, this happily ever after card right here, tells you that you have one wish this period. You have one wish this period. And what should that wish be? The answer is here in this distant horizon. When we receive a card like this, and it's pairing, it has a relationship with the occupation card. This talks in terms of many of you who may want to leave a stable job for a stability. I don't mean a stable job, but a job that is not a private enterprise. May want to leave that for your own business, to create your own distant business. This talks of that coming in the future. Now, your wish, if your wish concerns something like that, be ready to wait on that. Am I doing the right thing? The question asks once again. Is the door bringing me something that is more of material wealth? The answer lies in this card, the Ace of Pentacles. The answer is yes for you, group number 1. However, there is a proviso here. It talks of time, distant horizons, and temperance. It talks of time. There is a wait. The matter of concern also involves a wait. I'm going to take now the runes here and cast them in this basket so I don't lose them, and then pull them out and place them on the table where they fell. Okay, where they fell. Let's see. Tyr, Wunjo, Merkstave, Diag. Weird. We've got Fehu, and we have Lagus. Let's take a look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have first of all Wunjo, and Wunjo here is Merkstave. Wunjo is a rune of joy and happiness. It always talks of success, of a positive outcome, and it's in the Merkstave position. It talks about affections, your affections. When it's in the Merkstave position, along with Tyr, as you can see, Tyr is pointing down. That is the Merkstave position. Both of these that talk of victory in competition, high motivation, increased money and power, these mention a weight as well. They're echoing the distant horizons and the temperance here. I've got Fehu. Fehu is Merkstave as well. It talks of romantic or financial gain. It talks of fulfillment. Again, Merkstave, there is a weight. Lagos or Lagus here. Lagos, and this is Merkstave. It talks of intuitive knowledge. It talks of female energy and your memory and your success in learning about what is happening around you. what it tells you in this position here is that there's a moment in this period of time that you are not seeing things as clearly as you would like. Now, the remaining two runes are the nameless, faceless rune called Weird, which talks about your fate or something that you don't know is coming to you. And it talks about love as well. It concerns love as yet unknown, but with Gifu, which is absent here, but there is Diag here, and I wanted to get to that next. But together with Diag, tells you that there will be alleviation of the pain once you close that door of the past. There's continued growth, personal growth on a personal level. Weird talks about what we desire, our desires, and the way we want to reach those desires. So, am I doing the right thing? Yes, absolutely. With closing the door, you will be doing the right thing even more, group number 2, if you have the patience to wait with temperance and the distance horizons. I do hope this was of help, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Write to me under the video and tell me if this resonated, what parts of it resonated, how it resonated. That would be of great help. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on to group number 3 now. So, group number 3, here we have our bag with all our things inside, and we have our leopard jasper. Let's take a look at what's inside here. We'll start with the necklace. Okay, this is a necklace that holds a black obsidian. Now, the black obsidian, apart from being, this is velvet. You can see the velvet nature. There is a stone. The stone is called velvet obsidian because it does look in the light as if there were velvet inside. It's a powerful cleanser of the psychic smog, I could say, in your own aura. It's a strong psychic protection gem, and it stimulates our gift of intuition, really. Let's see the other stones that are inside here. We have an amethyst. Look at this beautiful stone. Oh, it's a crystal here of protection. You know, protection squared you have here. It fosters divine connections. Put that down. And the last stone we have black jasper. Black jasper. It's used to heal a broken heart. A broken heart. And it protects you from bad spells. If you've had people have sent curses your way. And it will increase our motivation. It protects us on a physical, on an emotional, mental, and spiritual level. Put that here. We have the runes, and the runes for this group are jade runes. Jade runes. Jade favors health and abundance. Hurrah. So I'll put these off to the side and pull out our cards and our oracle cards. Here we are. So we have the Star Child deck, oracle deck, and I'll start with that as a focus. Let's see what's in store for group number 3. See what's in store for group number 3. This is a card of forgiveness. Forgiveness. It tells us to see the bigger picture, to trust and heal. Now, that's the key to the question, am I doing the right thing? That is the focus of this pick a card, magical pick a card reading this week. This is the group of postcard collection of fine arts paintings. Take one from the top and one from the bottom. Okay. Here we have expectations. Tadema. This is the end of the 18th century, the end of the 19th century. 1880, 1890, I believe. And this is the turning road. The turning road. It's an avant-garde painting from the Fauvism period. Let's see, now I'd like to take these Sacred Rose Tarot, the Sacred Rose Tarot. It's in store for group number 3. Okay, I'll show you those. That's the 6 of Cups. I adore these cards. The King of Pentacles. The King of Wands. The Emperor. Powerful male energy here. The Emperor. And the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands. With this king, with this emperor, I'd like to talk of, let's do our magic on this major arcana. This is why I call it the magical pick a card. I meditate on the major arcanas and send out an invocation. Hear me, O great guardians of the tarot. Harness us the power of this holy card so that we may live in abundance, so that we may live in abundance. Hear me, all great guardians of the tarot. Harness us the power of this card so that we may live in abundance. Manifest abundance. Now let's continue with the Kipper cards. I'm going to put 2 out there, 2 here, and this king here. I'll show you those. For the painting expectations, we have the card of despair, the card of despair, and the pathway, which implies decision-making. Now on the painting of the road, the winding road, we have the card of message and change. There's a lot going on this period for you, group members, group number 3. And as there are a lot of things happening in this period, there are also a lot of people in your life. I'm going to, these 2 Kipper cards were pulled on the King of Wands. This is the card of the house and the card of the coffin. There's a door closing here. It seems as if there is a window of opportunity about to close. Those of you who are partnered and unfavorably so, who have been going through quite some ordeal with a member who is very member of the family, member of your tribe, or a partner, a long-term partner. I see that there will be talk about separation. The seeds will be planted. I do see that there is another person here involved, but let me take a look. I'm going to take the Lenormand cards on that. This flew out. Well, this is the book, the key, and the house. This is double trouble here. Double trouble in the house. We've got the house. Now, it looks like there is a three-party situation, and the third party is yet unknown to the main parties who are in a relationship, in a bond. And I believe that this is the main idea behind why there'll be talk of separation. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen of this group, there are many of you who will be seeing the return with the Six of Cups from your past, someone who you knew in the past. And this could be an earth sign. It could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, actually. Let me take a look here on this Three of Wands. Okay, well, the plot thickens. This is the first time we're getting it in these three readings. Lady, there's the lady. We have the snake, and we have the child. It looks like to me there are on both sides of a couple another person in your life. It may not be to the same degree of importance on both sides of the partnership, but this child card does talk about the beginning, having started a relationship with someone else, and of you taking stock of your options. Us in this group number 3, it talks of, remember, the focus here was on forgiveness. Am I doing the right thing is the main theme of the reading. If you act in forgiveness, then that is the right thing. In the prior reading, group number 2, there was legal situation. I don't see that here. I don't feel it. With a lot of the protection that we have with these stones here, I cannot say that this is a situation of the tower nature. I see this as moving from a position of strength and emotional abundance. Strength and emotional abundance. And not only, it talks about stability in life, and in order to go forward with stability, it seems as though there will be a change, but it will be mutual. The choices will be mutual. There will be talk, and of course I have to say that, ladies and gentlemen, there is the property of despair and expectations. Remember, that was the picture postcard there, expectations. Of course, we are not all the same. This is, a man once told me that when I was in my 20s, and I said I was very angry at someone. We were all going skinny dipping in a pond, and except one of the women didn't want to, and I said, "Oh, isn't that terrible?" Because then I thought, all of a sudden, she's different. And why would she want to do that? And he turned to me and he said, well, you know, we're not all the same. And that's all I had to hear. And this is in relation to the situation of change, all right, of change. And when there is talk of change, remember change, we spoke about that. There will be talk of change, and it is on the road. There is movement here, as it's as if, you know, there's a whirlpool, you know, a whirlpool energy that of centrifugal force. You know how there's those contraptions that are plastic when you're drying salad, and you turn and you turn and turn, and all of the salad goes to the walls of this plastic container, and the water drips down, and that works on centrifugal force. And centrifugal force acts in a way that separates us as well. When things turn, and they turn and they turn and they turn, and there's no interaction from the outside, there's no energy coming in from the outside, the force pulls apart people, and that's when despair sets in, and the pathway is there for us to choose an option, make a decision. Now, remember, we have here taking stock. We have the Three of Wands, and this, like the Emperor, is a position of strength. We have that. We have this position of strength. We are in a stable position. What is and causes the instability are expectations that we may have had for those members of the couple that are in a state of despair or worrisome because their expectations were not met. Now is the time to choose to make a decision. Remember, we also saw that in the home, and that came up twice, the house and the house. In these institutions, because we can call them an institution, marriage is an institution, companionship may be born of an institution. There are nonetheless elements that talk of something hidden in the book, and the coffin, something ending. The key is the ending and the closing of the past. Like I said, the watchword is forgiveness. And we do the right thing if we are able to forgive and not be drawn by our sense of despair. This is a choice. It's like happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy. Now, if we are moving from forgiveness, this gives us a big boost. But I would like to take the runes now and see what they have to say and add to this. I will cast the runes in this basket and then put them on the table as they come out. Oh, well, okay. Oh, we've got Manat's Merkstave. There you go. So you can see that. All right, now. Let's take a look at what we have here. We have the rune of Manats, which is Merkstave, and Manats is the rune of humankind, of mankind, of humankind. And it talks of interdependence generally, um, that tells us that we are aided, we are one, we are supported by a network. But it also talks about time for a new plan. It talks about us in terms, when it's Merkstave especially, it talks about a moment where we need to make a decision. Now, moving along, I've got here the nameless, faceless rune with no markings called Weird. And Weird talks about fate. It talks about, how can I put it? It talks about doing what we want using our own mind. When it's paired with the rune of Gifu, which is here right next to it, it talks of love coming in finally. And we did talk of closing a door, but there is another door opening, another love door opening. I've got here Rido as the center, that was cast in the center. And Rido it signifies a wagon, a travel or movement. It's a journeying rune. It's good. Now would be a good time to negotiate, and the key word here is negotiation. You may be receiving news as well. Rido tells you that news is coming in. Maybe you could wait for that before you start negotiating. Daeg here. Daeg is such an interesting rune. Every time it comes up, I try to understand what it's trying to say, especially in the position it is. And in here, it talks about increased growth. And it usually is there to alleviate the hardships and give you solace. And I believe that this is why I'm seeing, and I do feel that the energy here is very smooth, and that despair is only for one party in a very short span of time, and the communication is open. There is a network here of support. I've got here the rune of Otala. Otala. It talks of money. It talks of possessions. It also talks about the fact that many of us may be still lingering on those expectations, and so it invites you to raise your gaze. There is, and look at something that is more than simple possessions. I see here the rune of Aljits. Aljits is a rune that talks of fortunate. There's something fortunate coming in, a powerfully new influence in your life. There are friendship. Friendship as a network will be very important in this period, and it is protective. There is a lot of protection here, and there's a network of protection especially. This is Ansu Smirkstave. This talks about advice, about wisdom. It does mention in this position to keep your cards close to your vest, but it also talks about communication coming to you rather than you communicating with others. So there is definitely news coming in here. I've got Hagalas here. Hagalas, ladies and gentlemen, from the third group, talks about limitations and delays. I would like to say that here in this spread, it involves forces outside of your control, really. And it tells you that the time is not ripe now to get flustered in terms of any changes. Leave the despair behind. I'm looking at here the rune called Need. and it's asking you for patience. Here, too, it's talking about a constraint, it talks about a delay. So it seems the network of support that you have may have a glitch in it because of the expectations some of you might be feeling, and it talks about resolving these issues a bit further down the line. There's a situation that's difficult to learn from here, and you have to do your utmost in order for you to try to learn from this situation. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the third group, do write down under the video and let me know if this resonated, which parts resonated, and how the reading went for you. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure until we read together again next week with the new pick a card, magical pick a card. Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste.